You are live. I love to see that. Well, good evening, hello, and welcome. Welcome to Leading Ladies Leaving Legacies. We are in a pickle, are we not? So, tonight we're going to have some fun and talk about something that we can make interesting, exciting, and fun because dreams, most everyone has them. And that's what we're going to be talking about tonight in all of its elements from A to Z. So stay tuned. I am Joy Ruffen, coach, style, leadership, and a signature style specialist, professional speaker, and the founder, creator of Leading Ladies Leaving Legacies. Because I believe, and I want you to believe and know that every lady is her own leading lady. So every week, I'm going to bring to you a leading lady who has gone through her own transformation, her own journey, the internal and the external, to get to where she's at today. And you know what it's all about? Sharing that journey and that story so that it will maybe, hopefully, the intention is impact you in some way, in a good way. So tonight, our guest is Debbie Spector Weisman. And her title and what she does is beyond fascinating. So why don't we bring Debbie up? And I want you to say hello and welcome. Debbie, hello and welcome. It's so good to have you here at long last. Welcome.
Oh, I am so thrilled to be here, and I'm so excited that you want to talk about dreams.
Well, you are the dream coach. And I love the title that you gave me because we are in this crazy pandemic and nobody is loving it. And we're making the best of it that we can. So your title is From Fear to Cheer: How to Turn Your Nightmares into Sweet Dreams. Well, I'm a big dreamer, so I want to hear from you. How did you come to this title that you've given or someone's given to you, a dream coach? Tell us how that came about.
Well, first of all, I want to start out by saying that it is never too late. Dream work is my third career. I like to call it my third career. I didn't really get into it till I was in my 50s, and it was a journey. Uh, I wrote about it in the book Chicken Soup for the Soul: Dreams and Premonitions, because I was introduced to dream work while I was in my 50s, from a filmmaker, because my husband and I are also filmmakers. We have our own video post-production company. And through a long story, which I'm not going to go into, I met a dream worker through one of the movies we were doing, got introduced me to dreams and got me interested in learning more about dreams. I had a dream while I was learning about dream work with her that totally changed my life and convinced me that I needed to share what I learned with other people, because I learned that a dream, one dream, can change your life.
I believe that. I believe that wholeheartedly because of my background and this holistic and the imaginary fantasy and all of that, which sometimes is borderlines on reality. I love. And you know what I like, Debbie? You mentioned that this is your third, more or less, career. And the work that we're doing here, it's with that woman. It has different names. Names are names. Second chapter, second act, midlife, whatever. And you said this is your third, and you decided because of what you encountered and what came across for you that this was something you wanted to do. Now, I know you're not going to share that dream with us, but what was the pivotal point in that dream that brought you to the work that you're doing?
Well, I can share the dream with you because the dream was actually one word. I know people have dreams and they could be epic dreams and they start
Yes.
at one place and go to another place and then stop in the middle and then go twist it around and everything till they get back. I
Yes.
had a dream. It was one word, but it was such a weird word that I had to pay attention. The word was codpiece. Now,
Oh.
I don't know if you know what a codpiece is, but I wasn't. It's one of those words you think you know what it is, but you're not sure. Anyway, I had to look it up. And a codpiece is a piece of fabric, or it was even maybe even metal, that a man in the Middle Ages wore to protect his genitals.
Yeah.
Later, and then in the 80s, 1980s, it became a fashion statement for heavy metal rock stars because they would put these big cod pieces in there.
Yes, yes, we
Like
know that.
Ozzy
Mhm.
Osbourne's case in particular, who would do that. Anyway, I'm not going to get into the whole thing about it. It's like I said, I did write about what happened in Chicken Soup for the Soul. But the dream showed me that I was a very quiet, very shy person. I didn't speak up. I didn't let people know what I think. I didn't really stand up for myself in a lot of ways. And the dream showed me that I had placed this codpiece or this shell, this hard thing around me and the world. And that if I didn't do anything to break out of that, I would be where I was. I wouldn't change. And so it showed me that I could change by breaking through the codpiece. And, it wasn't overnight. It wasn't like the next day, oh, great, radical change, but it did get me on the path of realizing that I could change myself
Well, good
and
for you. Good for you. And I
become.
like the way you worded that. You said it wasn't overnight because oftentimes people, for whatever reason, it's the times that we're living in, we think that things happen overnight. And most of us who've been around the block a few times, we know that nothing happens overnight. It appears that way when it does happen, but it doesn't happen that way. How that dream gave you that information. But yet, what movie were you making where there was someone there who could shed light for you to get this insight? Because most people would get a dream book and read through and scout about. So what was the moment? How did you know that this person would be able to help you to shed light on that dream?
Oh, well, this was my mentor and dream worker extraordinaire, Kelly Sullivan Walden. My husband and I were working on a movie, a documentary that she was one of the participants in. And
Uh-huh.
in the movie itself, you didn't know what she was. She was just, a participant. But afterwards, we met her and I learned that she did dream work. And she was at that point just starting to do a dream circle, which is where you gather together and talk about dreams. And I joined that and became very fascinated. I, remembered some dreams from my childhood, and I remember dreams off and on during my life, but it wasn't an important part of my life. But through working with her, and especially this dream, cemented the realization how important dreams are. And I just want to also give you my favorite quote, which guides me all the time,
Good.
by the late great dream worker Jeremy Taylor.
Uh-huh.
All dreams reflect inborn creativity and the ability to identify and solve life's problems. And I truly believe that. I've seen it in my own life. I've seen it in my clients' lives, and I've seen it in, countless people I've met along the way. As you know, I do a podcast, Dream Power
Yes,
Radio, where I
yes, I know.
interview dream workers and other people who have had, important dreams in their lives. And tell you the stories I hear about how dreams have
Debbie, I
lives are.
believe that. I know that and I accept and embrace that as fact. Yet, why, and it's a loaded question, I know, but I know you have the answer. Why, you tell us, why are so many of us, I was up to a point no longer so fearful of dreams that we have that are not pleasant dreams? What
uh,
happens there?
Well, first of all, you get into the question of, why don't we remember our dreams? And
Huh?
for most people don't think dreams are important. We all dream. That's the other thing. People think they don't dream, but we all dream. Whether we remember our dreams or not, we all dream. And even if we don't remember our dreams, they help us. I mean, how many times have you maybe gone to bed and feeling kind of out of sorts, and there's something going on in your life, something's like bothering you, but you were upset about it, and then you wake up the next morning and you feel great. Well, you may not have known it, but you probably had a dream that resolved itself. I mean, the expression "sleep on it." Let me
Yeah.
sleep on it.
Uh-huh.
Well, because that came about because people slept on their problems.
Let me ask you this, Debbie, because I'm hearing you loud and clear, and I'm a fan. You know that. I accept and embrace all of this. Yet, I want to know from you, because that was a big, major transition and change for you to make from what you were doing to becoming the dream coach. Was it because, tell us what precipitated that? I mean, you've told us about the dream and how when this lady helped you to unravel and see that your shyness and your withdrawing yourself, blah, 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 was holding you back. Something else precipitated your deciding, this is the work I want to do. Can you speak to that a wee bit for us?
Sure. I mean, obviously, it wasn't an overnight situation.
No.
I'd even gotten involved in this is very simply, one day I said I was in my 50s and I asked myself the question, what do I don't want to do with the rest of my life? And being in the film business was not the answer, even though, it was our business. It actually still is. We still have the company. But I knew I wanted to do something else. I'm also not the kind of person who just wanted to sit back and retire and twiddle my thumbs for the rest of my life either. So I had begun a search before this on, what interests me, and had gone through, taking courses and looking at things. And when I came onto dream work, it just something hit. It made sense.
An awakening. There was something inside you that
the dream I had cemented it, but even along the way, there were other dreams I had before that, which also made me realize, this is something. There's something here. There's something very powerful here, and I see it all the time.
I bet you do. I bet you do. When people come to you with their dreams, how do you help them to see the power in that dream that will help them to transform to where they need to be and go?
Well, when I sit down and talk with somebody about their dream, it's a very deep dive. It's not just you tell me your dream and I go, oh, it means this. In fact, I try very, very, very hard not to tell you what your dream means, because the dream, for you to really get the understanding for a dream, you have to understand what the dream means. So what I do is I will ask a lot of questions. And we get into a conversation. And by asking the questions, the more I ask and the more I delve into, the meaning of the dream or what you think the meaning of the dream is and getting into the different aspects of the dream, it's for you to get that aha moment.
Let me stop you right there, Debbie, because you have said something that's so profound and so powerful that I want the audience to have this sink in. Because when it comes to leadership and being a guide, a messenger, a leader, what you just said and how you expressed it is way beyond power. What's the word beyond powerful? Because what you want the person to do is to get to see, to feel that transition for themselves and the answer, because it's dormant, it's there, waiting to be awakened. So you're just the instrument for them, helping them to get there. How would you? Yes.
I mean, I truly believe that we hold the answers to our own problems. We know them. However,
yes,
this is where the tricky part of our mind, gets in our way. When we are right now in our waking life, I mean, while we're awake, we think right here, our prefrontal cortex is where our rational mind is. That's where we are right now. I'm talking to you right now. That rational mind, while I'm talking, same time as I'm talking to you, and I'm sure you have it too, there's that little voice in your head that's talking back at you. And everybody has it. Everybody has it. And my numbers may not be exactly right, but it's something like 90,000 thoughts go into our head every single day.
Yep.
And 75% of them are negative. I don't even know it's happening. It's so subtle, because how can you account that many thoughts? But it goes on every day, every day.
I get that.
Why dreams are so important and why they're so powerful is at nighttime, this prefrontal cortex goes to sleep also. That's part of it, goes to sleep. The subconscious part of our brain wakes up. Well, that subconscious part doesn't have those little voices talking to it. It has no filters whatsoever. So the images that come through us through that subconscious, which also are images because our visual cortex also is awake at night. Anyway, that the images we get, the messages we get are pure. Those are our inner thoughts.
Let's get to basics, because most people want to know, what does this mean for me? Now, we know there are dream books out there, tons of them. That's a whole different saga. What would you say, Debbie, are the 3 to 5 main elements, key components of people who come to you with a dream? Is it falling? Is it being run over by a car? Is it being on heights? What are some of the major avenues or elements of a dream that people bring to you that you help them to uncover and get to the essence of what it is and means to?
Yeah, there are a lot of common dreams. I mean, that's why they have things like dream dictionaries, because over the years there's a collective wisdom of, what certain symbols mean, because we don't dream in English language, you dream in symbols. So that's why it makes it tricky. We have to kind of figure out what it is. I want to get back to what you talked about briefly about nightmares, because that's why most people don't remember their dreams, but they'll remember nightmares because they're scary, and it wakes you up. And when it wakes you up like that, it's very easy to remember.
I want to stop you for just 1 second, because you said something that's very profound. And even though I have an inkling, I want more depth about that. You said we don't dream in English, we dream in symbols. Give us a little bit more about that. We dream in symbols. Well, and yet there's language there. So tell me more about that.
Okay. Well, just think about any dream that you might have had where you're not dreaming about a specific incident that happened during the day, for instance. You're dreaming about, maybe you're dreaming about flying up in the air and orbiting the earth. Or maybe you're dreaming about being chased by an elephant, or taking a ride in a car with 5 clowns in the back seat. Those kinds of things happen where it's not the images that come out in the dream are not just, a recap of your day. There's something else going on there. So that's what I mean by symbols. And it varies. Everybody's dream is different.
Okay. I wanted you to clarify that, because when you said symbols, the first thing that came to my mind are images. So we could align those two words together. You said in symbols, but it could be in images too, because it seems like things that
it could be an image. It could be, in my case, like I said, it was just a word. Other people just have, they just dream like flashes of color, or just, whatever it is. I mean, everybody's dream is different. So that, although there were commonalities in it, which is why, people who have dreams about being chased very often, feel like they're in their daily life, something is bothering them, and you have to deal with.
I get it. Let me ask you this. I'm going to take a quick, brief intermission here, and then I'm going to be right back with you, because I have a question to piggyback on what you're getting ready to tell us. I already know that. Hold on 1 second. Well, dreams. Debbie's right. We all have them, and yet sometimes you want to throw them away and put them on the back burner, but we have them. But here's what I'm inviting you to do. I would love it to have you join us in Leading Ladies, Leaving Legacies. Join the group. All you have to do is get to my Facebook business page and sign up for Leading Ladies, Leaving Legacies. There's so much that's awaiting you that we want to share with you, because my opinion and the group, we believe that every lady is her own leading lady. And the other assignment, that I love movies, Mission Impossible, the assignment, should you decide to accept it. This show is so that we can all connect and align with each other. So your assignment is to make sure that you connect with Debbie. I'm going to be putting up her email and her website and her name. find a way to connect with her, because you just never know when you or someone that you know is going to need to be more aligned and aware of the services that she's offering. And you will not regret it. That's a promise. So hold tight, make sure that you get to the Facebook page, business page, and sign up for Leading Ladies, Leaving Legacies. And also while you're there, get your complimentary gift of how you can discover your signature style and stamp. Now we're going to get back to Debbie. And Debbie, what I want to know from you, you were beginning to tell us a little bit about the dreams and the images and the symbols. So continue.
Okay. Well, you'd asked me before about nightmares. And so I want to get into that because there's been such an interest this year in nightmares because of COVID.
Absolutely.
People have been remembering their dreams more than ever. And that's mostly because people had, certainly at the beginning of the pandemic, people were sleeping a lot more because they didn't have their alarm clock waking them up in the morning to go to work. So their sleep cycles were longer. Yeah. We dream, without getting into a lot of detail, we dream in our REM cycle. So when we have a night's sleep, our REM cycle is longer and enables us just to remember our dreams or think about our dreams more than usual. And so many people were having nightmares because of COVID. And then it became a phenomenon. People just started talking about dreams more than ever. So I want to give you some advice on how to deal with those nightmares, because in my opinion, and actually in the opinion of a lot of dream workers, the nightmare is the best thing that could happen to you. Because
say that again, please. They want to hear this.
It can be the best thing that that happens to you if you pay attention to it and if you take action on it. That's the point I'd like to get across.
Yes.
And the reason I say that it's the best thing that can happen to you is because the nightmare is a wake-up call. I like to say it this way. Like I said, we dream all the time. And if there's something that's going on in your life, you may have an issue or something, you may be having dreams about it that might be giving you some insights, but you're not remembering them because you're not paying attention to your dreams.
Right.
So your subconscious is very smart. So one day your subconscious says, hey, you know what? I've been giving you these nice little dreams for you to pay attention to and get the information from so you could do something about your life. You're not paying attention. So the only thing I could do is scare you. So I'm going to give you a scary nightmare that you wake up from. You have to remember it. And that's why you have the nightmare. But
that's a fascinating, proven, I suppose, theory. I never thought of it that way, but that's certainly insightful.
Yeah. I can't prove it, but it's my belief, and I think it's borne out by
Makes
circumstances.
sense.
So I say, when you have a nightmare, if you have a nightmare, pay attention to it. So the first thing you want to do is accept it. And what I mean by that is take it as the message that it's trying to give you. Write it down, because what you should do with all dreams is write it down so you can remember it and have it down. Even the physical act of writing it helps you remember it and helps cement it into your mind. And that's an important thing. Like the belief that the nightmare is important is step one.
I get that. I like that too. You have so much in this dream capsule that you're writing in, and I love it. But also, I know, because of what we've shared, that you have written a lot and that you have your own radio show and your TV show. So tell us a little bit about that so the people who come now and for the replay will be able to connect with you.
Okay. Yes. Well, I have a podcast called Dream Power Radio.
Yes.
It's a 30-minute weekly show. It's on wherever you can get podcasts. You can get it. It's very widely available. And it's an interview show, and I interview a combination of people. I interview dream workers, all kinds of people who are very active in their own methods and their own theories about dreams. Recently, I think last week's show was one of the most unusual interviews I did. It was a woman who dreams for other people.
Oh,
I had never heard of this before,
I'm
and
about to say that verbatim. I've never heard of that. I never even knew that you could.
I never heard. So I said the show is wonderful. I learned so much from it because I get to meet such interesting people and learn so much about dreams. There's so many different aspects of dreams. People who are healed by dreams, people who deal with nightmares, people who deal with lucid dreams, which is where you know you're dreaming in the middle of the dream. You can control the dream while you're dreaming.
Debbie, you must stop there because I have this forever perennial noodle that's always thinking and moving and whatever student. And what you just said, I'm going to have to really get that in my noodle brain to think about because I can't conceive and I like to think that I'm open-minded. I really work towards being that way. But how can someone, you can't answer this, I'm sure, in the 5 minutes we have left here, but how does someone dream for someone else? You have to put a link here or put it in the comments because I'm sure a lot of people are going to want to go and listen to that broadcast because I can't conceive and I really work to be broad-minded and open. How you can dream for someone else. Can you succinctly, quickly tell us how you can do that? Or do you know?
Well, it's. I asked her, can this be taught? And she doesn't believe it could be taught. She has her own dream group that she works with, and they've done a little bit of it, but she considers it a gift from God. So it's a very special thing. And all I can say is, if you Google Dream Power Radio, it's the easiest way to find it because if I give you a link with all kinds of strange letters and numbers, I can't even do that. But Google Dream Power Radio. And
I'm going to put that in the comments so that people can go there. And in fact, I have a link too where they can go and listen to that broadcast because I'm sure it's fascinating.
Yes.
And I agree with you with my limited knowing and awareness and always striving and rising. I think if she's able to do that, it is a gift. Yes. From the higher power, God, whatever one chooses to dwell in. But yeah.
Yes. And I also have my TV show, The Dream Power Show, which is on Roku and Amazon Fire. And that's a monthly compilation of some of the interviews I do on the podcast. And like I said, I interview not only dream workers, but I also interview empowerment experts, people like you, Joy, and other people who have techniques on how people can, like I could say, live their dream life. Yes. Different things that they could do to, improve their life, make their life what it wants to be.
Oh my goodness, Debbie. I tell you, you and I could talk forever and ever because we both have an appreciation for astrology and so much else because we've met and we know each other. Yet before you leave here tonight, just because this is my avenue and I want to see where we asked before, but when it comes to style, what style category are you in? Where do you place yourself when it comes to style, your signature style?
My signature style, it's kind of mostly classic and casual. Lately, it's been very casual because I haven't really found a place.
Everybody. And you picked the one that's still #1 throughout the world, classic, and then casual is trying to take over, but it can't for numerous reasons. Debbie, the time flies here. I'm so grateful that you came and you shared this time with us and you gave us so much to ponder over and think about. And your title, From Fear to Cheer, How to Turn Your Nightmare into Sweet Dreams, and how you explain that is more than significant. What words of wisdom would you like to leave us with, those who are here now and the ones who will come for the replay? Which is
I was going to say that I love to talk about dreams, and I offer a 30-minute complimentary dream discovery session. So if you go to my website, you'll see there's a button there you can click on. So click on the button and it'll take you to a place you can schedule the time. And I would love to talk to everybody about dreams.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful. I'm so appreciative. I'm going to ask you to step into the green room for just a second or two. I'm going to say goodbye to the audience and I'll be back with you for just a second before I say so long for now. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
Well, dreams, it's never ending. And especially now, Debbie explained it so well with this stressful time that we're in and all of the madness that we're dealing with, it's very, very difficult. And I'm sure people are dreaming more than ever. But I get a chance because I'm empathic and I get to know people. And somebody said to me, well, you're always bringing people and you say you love, you love, you love. Well, I have this broad outlook and I want to share it with you because I think everybody has something to share and to give to others. And her awareness and knowledge is just waiting there for you to take advantage of. So I'm going to put, you see her website, her email, and I'm going to put up a Dream Power Radio link so that you can get there and discover more. And whatever you do, stay safe, be well, wear that mask, look after you and all the others who are around you that you care for. And wearing that mask means that you're looking out and you're being safe for others. So you do everything that you can to be safe and stay well. And I'll look to see you again here next week, same time, same station. Take care. So long for now. Cheers. And thank you for being here.